Let's see if this thing, for some reason, hey, we're okay. So I just got a notification. Okay. So here we are, you guys. That wasn't me. I don't know what that was, but I am back, you guys. I'm Amanda Manigault. I'm here with you tonight. Another Monday night on the Amanda Manigault Beauty Talk Show. I am just here to share some good information with you guys about 5 ways to go from to go from conversation to customer. 5 ways to go from conversation to customer. So before I get started, let me take a moment to just give God the honor and the praise. Y'all know I praise and I honor God in all that I do. And so here I am another Monday night, and I just want to give God the honor and the praise for allowing me to be here, for allowing you to be here, whether you are here on this live right now or whether you are stopping through later on today. I just want to say thank you, and I want to say welcome, welcome, and welcome, welcome. And so for those of you who are here for the very first time, I am Amanda Manigault. I have been in the beauty industry as an entrepreneur for over 40 years. Started on my front porch when I was just 11 years old as a hair braider. Absolutely. Went from hair braiding to hair styling to becoming a professional cosmetologist, a cosmetology teacher, a beauty school evaluator, a beauty school owner, beauty salon owner. If there's anything you guys to do in this industry, Amanda Manigault has done it. So I am excited to be here. Last week was a holiday, last Monday. And guess what, y'all? I told y'all, and I mean what I say, I do not work on holidays anymore. So I took off. Yes, I took off. And I'm going to tell you, though, I missed y'all. I must honestly say that I missed y'all. So when I first started doing these lives, I didn't really know how it would go. I didn't know if I would stay. I was just giving it a try, you guys. But I must say that I like it. I like it. I love sharing. I love meeting new people. I've met some wonderful people here on my lives that are messaging me and leaving comments and calling me and all of that good stuff. And that makes a girl feel kind of special. So I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you. And for all of you guys who are on here tonight, please post your names. Let me know where you're from, what you do, because sometimes I can't always see the names, but we do check periodically. And tonight, you guys, I want to take a little time to answer some of your questions. So post your questions in the comments if you have questions. And later on, I'm going to take a little time to answer the questions. Uniqua is on in the chat room. So she is monitoring the chat. She's monitoring your questions. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, you guys. Tell them that Amanda Manigault is on the air right now. And she's going to show you 5 ways how to go from conversation to customer. How to take them, y'all. How to take them there. We love to talk, and some of us don't love to talk. And the ones that don't love to talk, hey, if you're running a business, you're going to learn how to talk. I had a young guy tell me the other day, he said he just started his brand, and one of his biggest challenges, what is that on my shirt? Oh, water. One of his biggest challenges is that he's never been a talker, and he has to learn how to, come out of that. And he's doing a phenomenal job right now doing that. And I'm excited for him recognizing that this early in his career. But tonight, you guys, I'm excited to be here. And as I told you, I am going to talk about 5 ways to go from conversation to customer. And I'm going to start by letting you know, you guys know how I like to tell it. There are 5 ways you can contact me, okay? 5 ways. One is through Amanda's Art of Cosmetology Institute. Another is through the Amanda Manigault Salon Company. Black Girl Beauty Inc., which is where I'm at tonight, the small marketing and consulting company. Amanda's Advanced Training Academy is where you want to take advanced training classes in beauty. you want to get your license, no, not your license, you want to state board preparation, any type of continuing education or advanced training, that's the Amanda Manigault Advanced Training Academy. And then we have Black Girl Beauty Foundation, which is where we give back to the community and inspire women and children, focusing on colored women and girls. And so here I am tonight, you guys. I'm here another Monday night, and I'm excited because this topic that I'm talking about, 5 ways to go from conversation to customer, to me is an important topic because we meet people all the time and we're constantly talking to people, but what are we really talking about? You know, are you really talking about conversations that can lead to a potential customer? And I don't even know if we oftentimes give that much thought, but it's important to us. It's important to our businesses. It's important that we're not just out here playing around, is what I'm going to say. Because y'all know I like to get straight to the point. I'm not going to beat around the bush. We play around. We waste a lot of time, whether it's on social media, whether it's out in the clubs, whether it's in the restaurant, everywhere we go. Everything we do. If you are a business owner, you take that with you. My daughter likes to tell me that, can we talk about something else? And I'm learning to get out of talking about business because I've been in business all my life. So it's so hard for me not to talk about business because I really feel like business relates to pretty much everything we do. When you're an entrepreneur, I mean, it just goes with you. And naturally, after being in this game, y'all, for so long, I can't help but take it with me everywhere I go. So the bottom line is tonight, I want to show you how to, when you're out in public, when you're on social media, when you're at an event, when you're in your communities, what you should be doing to focus and help you build your business. Why? Because my marketing and consulting company is all about helping others open and build businesses, create success fast, while designing the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of. You can't design the lifestyle that you've always dreamed of if you don't even know how to build your business professionally. We're not talking about the hole in the wall businesses no more. We're not talking about the hole in the wall shops no more. We're talking about building professional businesses. So how do we do that? How do we do that? You know, like I said, this conversation was important to me because I think we have to get out of wasting time, you guys. We only got 24 hours in a day. And if you're anything like me, I have my day mapped out. I got an hour to do this, 10 minutes to do that, an hour to do this, another hour to do that. I don't have a lot of time. So I have to monitor all my time. And I just want to take the time to say hello to each and every one of you. Hey, Tammy Charles. I'm always happy to see you. Can't wait till you chime in on here again. Someone said, love you, got my, okay, thank you, Tammy. I hope you like it. Tag me when you can. Okay, so the first point, y'all, this is my very first point. And this is also going to be the point that's going to drive us through the night, okay? I thought about saving this point for last, but I decided to open up with this point. It is building strong relationships that lead to trust. What does that mean, Amanda? What that means is just about everything we do. Everything we do is about building relationships. Our businesses is built on the relationships that we build through our customers, through the community, on the job, on social media, wherever you're at. People do business with you because they like you for some way, in some way, shape, or form, or they like the service that you provide. But guess what? There are plenty of other people, and you guys know that because you know your competition. There are plenty of other people out there providing that same service or similar service that you're providing. But they choose to come to you because it is something about you that they like, whether it's your conversation, whether it's that relationship, whether it's your family member. I don't know what it is, but it's something about you. So Building strong relationships that lead to trust is my very first point. And when I talk about that because when you become the source of insight, the source of information, the source of knowledge to the people around you, then that's when you begin to build. It helps you build your brand. What does that mean when I say that? That means everything you do when you're in the industry, you have to be careful what you're putting out there because there are people around you watching everything you do. So when things happen in our community and they need answers, who do you think they're going to think about? They're going to think about the person who's putting that information out there, who have the insight, who's being helpful about sharing that information. And you're not even worried about a cost about it. You're not talking about business. You're not saying, oh, I want to sell you something. You're going to leave sales out of it. But you want to be able to share some information. But a lot of times people think, oh, I can't share this or I can't share that unless I'm getting paid. But what you fail to realize is what you do and what you give is ultimately going to result to sales, even if you're not thinking about sales. So what do I mean when I say that is I'm going to use an example, and I'm going to use COVID-19 as my example. When this pandemic hit, there were a lot of people in the beauty industry that just didn't have no answers. They didn't know how they were going to feed their family. They didn't know where their next piece of bread was going to come from, where the car note was coming from, how they was going to pay their mortgage. They did not know. So what they began to do is seek information. They called people who they thought might have had answers to them. I got a lot of phone calls, y'all. I got a lot of phone calls. I got a lot of emails because there are some people out there who look up to me and who value the information that I share. By the way, if you find this information of value, please like, share, post your comments and all your questions, all of that stuff. But anyway, if you are giving out valuable information to people, then you are building relationships. People begin to trust you. They begin to trust the information that you're sharing. And so that is valuable. And that's why I said my number one point is the relationships that you build lead to trust. Because when you're giving good information and you're helping people, people need answers. They have questions. They're confused. They're lost. And if you're able to put information out there that can help change their life in some way, shape, or form, then guess what? They begin to trust you. And when people begin to trust you, they will call on you. And when they get a few dollars or extra money where they think, you know what, I need to learn how to do that, or I need to learn how to do this, and it's related to what you do, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to call you because they're going to remember the information that you shared with them when you wasn't even thinking about a price. The information that you shared with them when you had no motive, when you was just sharing out of the goodness and the kindness of your heart. And so that is number one. That's my number one way on 5 ways how to go from conversation to customer. So in other words, you're sharing information and building relationships that lead to trust, that will ultimately lead to a customer. And it's not intentional. You're not saying, oh, I'm going to help her because I want her to come and buy from me. Well, no, you're giving out of the kindness of your heart. I'm on here tonight, you guys, because I'm passionate about what I do. I've been in this industry for over 40 years. I'm retired. Honestly, I am retired. What I do now, everything I do now is about giving back. Ultimately, I get paid for what I do. But at the end of the day, I love what I do. There's a lot of things that I could be doing right now, but I choose to be here because I love what I do and I'm passionate about what I do. And one of the things I know for sure, without a shadow of doubt, nobody don't have to tell me nothing. I've been in this game. I started in this game when I was 11 years old. There are people out there that need answers. I want to be a provider. I want to be an influencer. I want to be able to help because I remember the days, you guys, when I needed help, when I had questions, and there were very few people that I can go to and get answers. So I always said, when I get to that point where I can reach back and help somebody else, impart something in somebody else's career, then I would do that. And here I am today, you guys, doing that. So I want you guys to think about the relationships that you build, the people that you talk to, whether it's in your community. Let me tell you something. Social media is powerful. We know that. But social media, I don't believe in my heart, will ever outweigh or ever take away from that face-to-face value. In other words, when you're out in the streets and you're in your communities, those relationships, it don't hurt you to put your head up and say hi. It don't hurt you to say, how are you doing today? Is there anything I can help you with? When you're in here servicing your clients, whether it's in a salon, whether it's in your boutiques, whether you're a painter, I don't care what you're doing. When you're servicing your clients, it won't hurt you to go out of your way and start a little conversation, find out what people are going through. Those are the relationships. Those are the conversations, you guys, that lead to customers. When you're having those conversations where you can help people, impart some things in their lives, be a resource for them, be an informational piece for them. When you can do those things, you build trust. And when you build trust, you potentially build your business. So I just wanted to share, that was my number one point, you guys. My number 2 point, ask questions. Get people involved. I have a question for you guys tonight. I want you guys to let me know. Post it in the comments, email me, put it in the groups. Let me know what you want to know more about. How can I help you? How can I be of service for you? Oftentimes I'm on here every Monday night at 8 o'clock. And I'm talking about conversations that I feel like could help your business, things that I've learned over my 40-year career as an entrepreneur. But I want to hear from you. I want to know what you want to know. Tonight, I'm going to tap into a few questions on the board. So please post your questions on the board. Unique was monitoring the chat room. And so we're very interested in knowing what it is that you want to know. When you ask questions, you give other people the opportunity to share their feedback. People want to know that what they have to say is being valued. We're still talking about relationships. We're talking about 5 ways to go from conversation to customer. So people want to know that what they're sharing with you has value. It's important to you, that you're not just letting it go in one ear and out the next, that you are thinking about what they said, that what they said to you is important enough for you to make it a topic of conversation. So that's what we're talking about. Future topics that y'all want me to talk about is what I want y'all to post. And it gives them the opportunity to be a voice, to feel like they're being heard. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me. That's important, you guys. When you're building relationships with people, they have feedback too. They have information too. And you'll be surprised what conversation, if you just hold that conversation. So tonight we're talking about holding the right conversations, finding out about the people around you so that you can use that as a way to help them and potentially get a new client. So when you're giving to people from the kindness of your heart, when you're sharing information from the kindness of your heart, when you're having a conversation with people from the kindness of your heart, even when you don't have time, but you're making the time, then you don't know how much value that holds with people. You don't realize how much it is helping your business. I'm going to give you an example on that as well. Have you ever talked to someone and you were sharing a little bit of your information and you found out through the conversation that they was kind of going through the same thing, or they might have had that same experience, but they didn't know that you was experiencing that. In fact, they looked at you a little different. You know, people tend to put you on a pedestal even when you don't want to be on a pedestal. They want to put you there. And oftentimes we don't even realize that people have us on a pedestal. People are watching us even when we don't realize they're watching us. So oftentimes you're having that conversation, you're talking to them, and you might have just let it go. You might have just said, look, I done been through this and I done been through that. I know when I wrote my book, Living on Edge While Trying to Make It to the Top, I remember this one girl, she was a student of mine, and she came to me and she said, Miss Amanda, she said, I really didn't know that you had experienced these things. And I understood where she was coming from, because I've always been the type of person that no matter what I'm going through in my life, my head is up. My head is up and my head is going to stay up. I'm always going to get up and figure it out, because I don't believe in staying down. I believe, and I tell my children that I'm living in a world where I have a 0% error rate. I don't have time to stay down. I'm going to get up. I'm going to put my head up. I'm going to put a smile on my face, and I'm going to keep on going, because the longer you stay down, you guys, the harder it is to get up. So I don't believe in staying down. So oftentimes, because people don't see me down, for some reason, they think I haven't experienced anything, but God knows that's not the truth. I've experienced a lot. And that's why I'm here tonight. And that's why I'm able to talk in front of you guys, because of the experience. I don't read books to get on here and talk. I don't Google anything. Sometimes I bring in guests who are experts in their field to give feedback. But most of the information that I share on this show, the Amanda Manigault Beauty Talk Show, comes from my 40 years of experience as an entrepreneur. Because in this show, we're talking about how to open and build your businesses. And I just give ways on how to do that. Tonight, we're talking about 5 ways how to go from conversation to customer. So as I was saying, that is an example that I like to give. You're talking to people and people think you haven't been through anything. And then you see that they see that, oh, wow, she's normal too. She's been through this as well. And they tend to relate to you a little bit better. They tend to trust you a little bit more. They feel a little more comfortable opening up to you, or whatever the reason is. Why, I don't know. Why that matters, I don't know. But it does. So I just wanted to give that example to you on number 2. Ask questions. Find out what other people have to share that can perhaps help. And what that do is that strikes the conversation. And when you strike a conversation, you find out things about people. People find out things about you. And guess what? That potentially opens up doors to go from conversation to customer. Because people remember these things, you guys. They remember what you talked about. They remember what you shared. They remember that you were down to earth, that you were honest, that you were sharing things that touched them in a way that they want to go and change. They feel like you've helped them. You've planted a seed in their lives. You've empowered them in some kind of way, shape, or form. And so that's what we're talking about tonight. Those are the type of conversations that eventually lead to a customer, because people remember the good things that you share with them. People remember the conversations that touch their lives, that change their life. So I'm going to go to number 3. My number 3 is having a conversational piece. Now, what does that mean? I'm going to give you an example for that. My son, my youngest son, he went to the University of Tennessee, played football for Tennessee. So Tennessee is one of those schools that fans are everywhere. I mean, so I used to wear his Tennessee hat or Tennessee sweatshirt or Tennessee something, because everywhere I went in this Tennessee gear, I struck a conversation. Somebody came up to me and asked me something about that school. He would always, it always opened people up. I mean, I could be over here and they spot me. Hey, you a Tennessee fan? And so that was a conversational piece that opened up a window. You have to know how to create conversational pieces that will strike new conversations. My daughter has purple hair. Everywhere we go, I promise you, everywhere we go. We was out on a car lot one day, And it doesn't matter if they're black, yellow, purple, or blue. People always compliment her on her purple hair. And then when they ask her, is that your favorite color? Or they automatically assume that's her favorite color. And she tells, oh, no, that's not my favorite color. I just wear the color purple. And it strikes a conversation. And that conversation goes from one conversation to the next conversation. And next thing you know, they're talking about business or they're talking about personal things that lead to what? Customers. I promise you it works, you guys. If you learn how to create the right conversations with no motive, just being who you are. Oftentimes, though, we go places and we don't want to talk. We might be in a hurry to pick up something. We might just be, just want to be solo, just want to be quiet. And conversations take place, or they try to take place, and we ignore the conversations or we ignore the people. Sometimes people just want to say hi to you, but we'll be so busy trying to get in and out, y'all, until we're not taking the time to realize this can go from conversation to customer. So we have to slow down a little bit. We got to slow down a little bit and realize that when you run a small business, when you're running a business, it's 24/7. It don't stop. I try to tell my daughter that, she doesn't seem to get that. She seems like you're supposed to turn it off. And I get that. I admire this younger generation who are entrepreneurs who know how to turn it on and turn it off. Me personally, I believe that it goes everywhere I go. Where I go, business goes. When I talk, business talks. When I talk conversation, guess what? I'm eventually picking up a customer. And that's just how it is naturally, y'all. Unintentionally, it happens that way. And it has kept food on the table. It has kept I've never went anywhere, and I've been in different states, haven't left the country yet, but I've been in different states and operated and managed different businesses. And guess what? I never went around begging bread. I always built a very good, profitable business everywhere I went. So I'm going to give you another example. And this is an awesome example that I have here. I went to the grocery store, and this is funny because this topic, you guys, I was not supposed to be talking about this topic tonight. This was actually last week's topic. But what happened is I found out last Monday was a holiday. Y'all know I ain't used to keeping up with holidays because for 40 years, you guys, I didn't even celebrate holidays. I didn't. I was busy working. I would forget the holidays sometimes. But now I made it a point to make the holidays and weekends a part of my life because I don't ever want to work like I once did. So I said that at this point in my career, I'm 54 years old. At this point in my career, I never want to overwork myself again. So I appreciate and I value holidays and the weekends. So when I found out Monday was a holiday, I took off, even though Sunday was some people call Easter a holiday, some people don't. I consider I'm taking it all. I'm doing like the schools. Every time you turn around, they out of school for something. So you know what? I'm doing it too. Hey, you guys, thank you for all who are in. Take the time to like, share, tell a neighbor, tell a friend, post your questions and comments. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Now, I was telling y'all, I went to the grocery store Saturday morning. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to get to the grocery store because I was out of everything and I needed to get to the store. And I was like, I'm on this thing called Hooping for a Healthier Life. For those of you who know, y'all know I'm now in the business of customized hoops. They're fitness hoops. And it's another way to stay in shape and empower others to stay in shape. And so I wanted to make sure that I had the right foods because you can't just be out here hooping and you're not even eating right. So I got up early Saturday morning and I decided that I was going to go out and get the right foods that I needed to have, my vegetables, my fruits, and all that stuff. So I don't really like grocery stores. In fact, I try to go to the grocery store as less as possible. Most of the time I try to hit the grocery store. I guess I'm just dropping this water all on my shirt right here. That is not cool. But anyway, I try to go to the grocery stores once a month because I don't like being in the grocery stores. And especially during this pandemic, you guys, I just make it my business to get in the grocery store and get out. And so that's what I was doing on Saturday. I called myself getting up early, getting to the grocery store. When I got, and what I did, I love my hoodies. Everybody who knows me knows that I love my hoodies. I had this hoodie on right here that I bought from one of my young entrepreneurs. Her name is Ricky Rick. That's her little Facebook name and Instagram name. And she's owner of Feline Apparel. Oftentimes, I love to support these young entrepreneurs. In fact, Kiana, I have on your jewelry tonight and your earrings. This is my cousin who I bought this stuff from, and I want to give her a shout out. She is with K Sinquest, which is spelled Sinquess accessories. Go and stop by her website, you guys, www.ksinquess.com. Get some of her jewelry. She's a fly girl, you guys, and she's been hooking her sister up with some nice jewelry. I got the necklace and the earrings, and so I'm happy. And then Saturday, I will say, I had this little hoodie on right here. On the back, it got these little eyes and stuff on it. I was hoping that I could talk to Ricky and invite her here one of these days, and she can really explain what this is and why she created this. But I had this hoodie on, y'all, and I'm talking about 5 ways to go from conversation to customer. Remember that now as I tell this story. I had this hoodie on, and I was going to the grocery store. I was just walking through the grocery store. I had got some of my vegetables and some of my fruit. My cart was kind of full and looking really, really pretty. Pretty, with all these nice fruits. And I was looking like a healthy girl. So these 2 African-American women, I heard them say, "You got them eyes on your back." And I heard them say it, but I really didn't know what they was talking about because I really forgot that I had this, that she had her logo on the back of the hoodie. I really wasn't thinking. So I'm like touching myself, trying to figure out what they was talking about. I thought they was telling me that I had something on my back or on my booty or something. So I'm just going like this, and they was laughing at me. So finally, I said, you know what? They said, we're talking about the eyes on the back of your hoodie. And that's when I realized, I was like, oh God, I forgot I have on Feline Apparel. So I told them about the Feline Apparel. I'm talking about 5 ways to go from conversation to customer. I told them about the Feline Apparel, right? And so I began to share her story a little bit and what I knew about Feline Apparel from talking to her and working with her a little bit. And so I shared the information, gave them her website and all of that information. And after that, they looked at my cart and they saw all the little fruits and vegetables that I had. I'm talking about going from conversation to customer now. And so as they were, we got engaged in a conversation and they said, well, are you juicing? And so I told them I juice a little bit, but most importantly, I'm hooping for a healthier life. The door opened, you guys. She opened up the door. I just walked in and we got on a health conversation. I never knew I was going to have this conversation because remember now, we were supposed to have this topic last week. This happened on Saturday. I'm talking about 5 ways to go from conversation to customer. So as we get to talk about health and juicing and the vegetables and the fruit, without thinking, just because I'm a businesswoman, I share with her, I'm hoping for a healthier life. And she said, so what is that? Again, we're having a conversation. So I said, well, we design custom-made hoops because it's our quest to empower over 1,000 women this year, teaching them all about hooping for a healthier life. Most of us African-American women, we've been hooping since we were kids. Some of us weren't, but those who wasn't, I want to get them too. But the main thing is to get up off of that couch, y'all. We've been through a pandemic. We done had a rough year. But guess what? I want to inspire you to get up off of that couch. And this is how I'm talking to these ladies. I'm sharing this information with them about hooping for a healthy life. So guess what? They saw all this good fruit in my basket. They was hearing my conversation. So immediately I felt like they began to trust what I was saying. They believed in me. They were inspired by me. I started talking about African-American women and ways that we have to change the way we do things. And we touched on a lot of things. But when I hit hooping for a healthier life, They wanted to know more. Oftentimes when we're talking to people, they're hearing what we're saying. They're seeing what we're doing. And if what you're doing is in line with what you're saying, people want to know more, you guys. So as they wanted to know more, I didn't have to just talk about it, y'all. I was excited to pull out my phone and go to my website. And when I went to my website, what was there? Content to validate the conversation that I was having with these ladies. So not only now did they hear what I was saying, they saw what I was saying, they believed what I was saying. I'm talking about going from conversation to customer. So let me tell you how good that situation went. So as I began to tell them and show them my website, they were inspired. She said, I want one. She said, I want one. And she said, give me the information. I gave her, I texted her the link to buy the hoop. And so then, you know, she got to talking and she got saying, oh, well, you think so-and-so want one? I think my sister want one. Send me a Facebook invite. Send one to my sister. The other girl that's with her, send me one. And then I went to pick up my meat and that lady wanted one. So I'm telling y'all, I got to the register, right? This is how this thing went. I'm talking about conversation to customer. I got to the register after I was talking to them. I end up in this grocery store, y'all, for over 2 hours. And I was trying to go in there and get my little fruits and vegetables and get out. That's why I said sometimes, y'all, we just got to take our time and let God do what he do. And in the midst of that, doors and opportunities open. You cannot go from conversation to customer if you don't even allow yourself to have the conversation. Okay? Think about that. I said you can't go from conversation to customer if you don't even allow yourself to have the conversation, because you're always in a hurry. You never have time. You can't talk to people. You don't want to talk to people. You don't want to be bothered, but you're running a business. Oh my God. But you're running a business, y'all. You're running a business. This little cup is leaking, I guess. You're running a business, but you ain't got time for a conversation. So let me tell y'all what happened to me. I got to that register, and when I got to the register, y'all, I had forgot my wallet. I left my wallet at home. And I had went to a grocery store outside of my neighborhood that was like 30 minutes away. So I had to go all the way home, didn't argue, you know, it wasn't no big deal. And the girl had ended up coming up to the register while I was up at the register and asked me, can I come back there? Because somebody else wanted to meet me. So I did. I went back there because somebody else wanted to meet me. And I went back there and talked to them. Y'all will not believe that I went home, got my wallet, didn't have no bad feelings about it, wasn't upset about it. I just went home and got my wallet. And when I came back to the store, another lady who was a Caucasian lady asked me, because she overheard the conversation. She was still in the store. She worked there. And she overheard the conversation and she wanted to know about the hoop. Do y'all know, to make a long story short, I sold 5 hoops that day. I'm talking about going from conversation to customer. Remember, we were supposed to have this conversation last week. It wasn't meant to have that conversation last week. Sometimes, y'all, we just got to go with the flow. I went in this grocery store minding my own business, trying to get in and get out when wasn't nobody there, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I sold 5 hoops that day. I went from conversation to customer, not even realizing that this was going to be my topic of conversation this week. I wasn't even thinking about it at that time. I had no motive. I was just sharing information with these 2 beautiful colored women. And who approached me because I had a conversational piece on the back of my sweatshirt. Isn't that something, y'all? It was a conversational piece. So we have to think about the things that we're wearing, the things that we're saying, the things that we do. Most of the time I have on my Black Girl Beauty outfit or shirt or t-shirt or hat or something, but I didn't have on Black Girl Beauty that day. I like to support other people too. And I love the hoodie. I love feline apparel, and I grabbed it and I went on out the door. And so be it that those eyes on the back of that feline apparel hoodie sold me 5 hoops. talking about going from conversation to customer. So these are the things, and these are some of the ways, you guys, that we have to take the time, because it all is about building our businesses. We think it's just a day-to-day thing. When you're in entrepreneurship is not easy. I'm here to tell y'all it is not easy. But when you love what you do and you are serious about what you're doing, you're going to take that thing with you everywhere you go. There's not a moment that I'm not thinking about business, because business is thinking about me. And that's just the way it is. And this is after 40 years, y'all. This is after 40 years. So number 3 was having a conversational piece. That conversational piece sold me 5 hoops in one day. That was over $500, just in case y'all want to know. Number 4, my number 4, because it's getting late, but y'all know I started a little. Number 4 is promoting events. I don't know if y'all have events. I don't even care if it's a yard sale. That's an event. I don't care what type of event you have. People sign up for your events, or people might say, I'm going to be there. It could be, vendors. It could be, a lot of people have vendors and people go and sell their stuff. And during the process, people are signing up. People have questions. And when people have questions, we got to learn how to not just give them a one-sentence answer or one-word answer, but be engaged with them. This is your opportunity to meet somebody new. This is your opportunity to talk about what you do. This is your opportunity to ask them what they do. Find out more about them. I'm talking about going from conversation to customer, because you're talking to this person, whether you're in the line in the grocery store, whether you're at the mall somewhere, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're talking to people, and at the same time, you're building your business and don't even realize it. You're in the community. Something is going on in the community. It doesn't necessarily even have to be about your business. It could be about something that's going on in your community, ways to help in the community, information that you're sharing with people in the community. It could be that the street parking or the street cleaning is this Friday. You got to move your car because they're cleaning the streets this Friday. And it goes from moving your car to talking about this and talking about that. Next thing you know, you share some valuable information with some people. And so now they're thinking, what is it that you do? And so then once they find out what it is that you do, wow, well, my sister needs so-and-so. My brother needs this. And it may not even be immediate. It might be 5 months from now when they feel a need for your service. And guess what? They remember that conversation that you had. And it turns into a customer because you took the time out that day to bless them with some knowledge or some information that came back to you, ultimately came back to you. So I'm talking about conversation, taking a conversation and eventually turning it into a customer. That was my number 4. My number 4 was promoting events. Now I'm going to talk about this for a second because that same girl who's owner of Feline Apparel, she lives here not even far from me, but I remember when she was a little girl in my hometown, me and her mother used to work together at Hershey Foods. I had 2 jobs before I locked into my beauty, before I opened up my salon. Right after high school, I worked for Hershey Foods, Hershey Chocolate Company. Everybody know Hershey Candy Bar. And I had the privilege of working with Lil Jackson, who is the mother of Ricky Rick, of the owner of Feline Apparel. So Lil and I worked together, and here it is, 40 years later, Lil, that we kind of connected again through my worship and workouts on Wednesdays. And Lil started attending the worship and workout. She's there faithfully every Wednesday. And, she purchased her a hoop. And actually, she purchased 2 hoops. And after she purchased her hoops, she blessed someone else with a hoop. And that someone else happened to be a judge in my hometown, the city of Harrisburg, who also happens to be one of my high school classmates. We went to school together ever since childhood. And so anyway, they did a video. And they posted the video, shared the video on my page and shared the video everywhere else. They got over 700 likes so far. It's been about 2 weeks. 700 likes on this video. And I'm talking about, y'all, don't forget the conversation, going from conversation to customer. So I ended up talking to my classmate, Sonia. If y'all haven't voted yet or you don't know who you're going to vote for, vote for Sonia McKnight. She's running for judge. And I want to say 12 to, I don't want to mess that up. But I believe it's on Cameron Street. But anyway, she's running from Judge McKnight. You guys look that up in Harrisburg. Anyway, they posted this video that got over 700 likes. And I sold 10 hoops. 10 hoops from that one video. Because the hoops promoted Black girl beauty and hooping for a healthier life. They share the movement. So I'm talking about conversation, you guys, having a conversation, having that conversation with Lil. Lil, you are my guest tonight that will get a prize that I have for you, a very special prize that I'm going to give you. But I'm going to let you pick it, but I have something in mind that I like to give you just for sharing that. You didn't have to do that, but you did. And because you did that, I sold 10 hoops in 2 weeks. So I just want to say thank you to you. And I wanted to share that, y'all, because again, it goes from conversation. We had a conversation. Lil had joined my worship and workout on Wednesday. And on the worship and workout, we started being engaged, having conversation every week. And she talked about buying a hoop, but she didn't just talk about it. She bought a hoop. And so she bought 2 hoops and it went on and on and on. And I sold over 10 hoops, you guys. Over 10 hoops from her video. I'm not talking about the 5 hoops that I sold from the grocery store conversation. I'm talking about over 10 hoops that I sold through a video that they shared. I'm talking about going from conversation to customer. That was number 4, you guys. And I'm going to try to wind it down because I said I wanted to take some questions. My number 5 is inspirational quotes. I often like to share inspirational quotes, you guys, and I like to share them because I like to be a blessing to other people. And a lot of times y'all think people ain't paying y'all no attention. People are reading your posts. They're hearing everything you say. They're watching what you say, and they're talking about it. It's becoming a conversational piece. So I share these quotes on a regular basis, whether it's in the group, whether it's on my personal page. And I had this lady call me one day, and she was a Caucasian lady. And she messaged me, actually. She messaged me, and we started having a conversation, and she asked me if I would call her, and I did. And she actually wanted a product that I had, and she purchased the product. But through the conversation, I'm talking about conversation to customer, she shared with me how my inspirational quotes and the things that I share on my page have been so inspirational to her, and that she follows me and that she's always looking forward to what I post. I'm talking about conversation to customer. So we think all along that we're sharing this information and it means nothing, that we're just sharing it just to be sharing it, good or bad. So whatever information you're putting out there, remember, y'all, somebody's watching you. That somebody can be a potential customer. So pay attention to what you're doing. Be mindful of what you're doing. When you're going in the grocery stores, be mindful and stop rushing all the time. Take your time. You don't know who's there that might need a little conversation. That conversation, you guys, can turn into customer. So think about what you're doing. If there's anybody that has any questions, Nikwa, do you have anything to share with me tonight? We have a Black group, y'all, called Black Cosmetology. In that organization or association, we share positive information. We have private webinars. We have private information to help people build their businesses and all types of goodies and information. And in that group, I want you to go on. Normally, I believe it's $350. But if you go on tonight and become a member, you can join the association and tap in and learn and stay abreast and get into all this good, juicy information and get into our network of people that we network with and that we share information with, and businesses that help us, whether it's insurance, whether it's life insurance, business insurance, whatever it is that you need for your business. We're building our own network of people. Maybe you got a business and you want to join just to put your business in so that you can do business with our people. So maybe that's what it is. But tonight you can join for half the price. Visit www.blackgirlbeautyinc. That's blackgirlbeautyinc.com and click on the coupon and it'll show you from there. You can go further. And so
Hello, ladies. I didn't know if she was gonna let me talk. She's asking me if I had to come in and say something and then shout off a whole monologue. I just wanted to come in
excuse
and
me.
say yes. I wanted to come in and interrupt the Amanda Manigault show the way she does on Chitter Chatter, ladies. Speaking of which, that is why I came in. I wanted to let everyone know that you can tune in this Thursday at 8 p.m. to Chitter Chatter. I have a special episode. We are actually doing a special sequence of episodes. Last week we had the ladies come on and we're talking about relationships. This week, ladies, we have some eye candy for you. I am bringing in the fellas, and you guys are going to get to meet my dad, who is Daddy Plum. You guys are going to get to meet them, and we're going to answer some questions in the ladies. And I want you ladies to jump in and really tap into it, because when it comes on Chitter Chatter, we talk about what goes on in life. On the Amanda Manigault show, we talk about what goes on in business. And that is Black Girl Beauty, ladies. You need both. You need to be able to digest and talk about business, because we need to get to the money. We have to get to the coins. And you need to be able to digest, and you need to be able to talk about what's going on in your life. Like my mom said, when we go out sometimes, she's business. She is so business, she forgets to eat her food. And that's very important to me, because I'm not trying to be out with nobody that's going to forget to eat. So you have to be able to balance it out. And that is what we're working on with Black Girl Beauty. We want to talk about business. We want to talk about life. We want to talk about everything, because that is networking. Like my mother said, when you can have a conversation about life, that's how she sold those hoops. Having a conversation about life, being able to step outside of the business, but still see the business opportunity. That is what you have to be able to do. And that is Black Girl Beauty. And when you have the opportunity to have both sides, where you can get the emotional and the financial side of things, you can understand when to be business, when to be social, and when to mix it all in. And that is what we're tapping into here on Black Girl Beauty. So be sure to join the blackgirlbeauty.org group on Facebook if you have not already. And 5 ways you can go ahead and connect with Uniqua. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Uniqua. I am on YouTube, Uniqua Manigault. Follow me for Chitter Chatter. And like I told you, this week, ladies, we have some eye candy coming on. Because not my dad. Not my dad. I mean, he's eye candy too, but he's off limits, ladies. So we have my dad coming on. And I'm going to have 2 other men coming on. One is going to be my barber, who is a very successful entrepreneur. I'm going to introduce you guys to him. And there's another guy coming on, special guest. And I have another special guest coming on for you ladies later on in that episode. So I want everybody to tune in. Of course, Miss Amanda's going to be there, and she's going to give her input on the episode. So be sure to tune in to catch Miss Amanda live with Miss Daddy Plum, which is AKA NX. You get to see the business side.
No, I am not
Yes,
coming in
yes,
on
you
that
get to see the
episode.
business side and the personal side of Miss Amanda on live Chitter Chatter. Tune in.
And don't forget to share. Uniqua also has IamUniqua.com. Please stay in touch, because she has a very powerful announcement
Pause
coming
one
very
second. Pause one
soon.
second. I want to go ahead and tell you guys about this. I am going to be offering you guys model aerobics. I already
See
have.
how she want to take over the
Exactly. This is what
I
she
was
does.
sharing that,
This
right?
is what she does when she comes on Chitter Chatter. So I'm just repaying the favor. You guys, sometimes you have to respectfully repay the favor. I don't even get mad on Chitter Chatter anymore. I have decided to sit back, relax, and kick off my shoes and tune in every Monday night to the Amanda Manigault show, so that I can join in and do the same. So, ladies, we will be doing model aerobics. And what that is, it is a class where you will learn, if you don't know how to walk, okay, if you don't know how to walk, I'm teaching you how to walk. If you don't know how to turn, I'm teaching you how to turn. If you don't know how to strut, I'm teaching you how to strut. And I'm doing it in a workout. And we wear heels, ladies. We are going to really take it to the next level and work out your legs, your thighs, your hips, and everything. Because I learned what I discovered. Because I've been wearing heels as long as I can remember. I was in a fashion show as a newborn. So heels were a part of my life. And it wasn't until I maybe took like maybe a few months off where I just wasn't wearing heels. And then I taught a class in heels, 2 hours. After the class, my whole body was sore. And I realized what kept me in shape all these years. This is the mystery, ladies. They always wonder how I eat so much and stay so slim. It's the heels. Because I once upon a time, I wouldn't go to the grocery store without a pair of heels on. So I discovered it was the heels keeping my legs in shape. It was me walking in heels every day, working out my feet. That is a workout, ladies. If you've ever been in a show, if you've ever did any modeling, you will know that is a workout. And I have put it together for you ladies in a strategic, excellent manner so that you ladies can come join me with model aerobics, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to teach you how to walk. I'm going to teach you how to turn.
And don't forget about the little kids, guys. Modeling, acting, poetry, and writing. If you have any kids that want to be authors or anything, we'll be tapping into all of that.
Tapping into all of the arts.
And these courses are not just here in Georgia, but they will be online as well.
Virtual
so stay tuned for that information that will hit social media next week. Also, I want to give another
me here on the Amanda Manigault show.
And I want to give another shout out.
Chitter chatter on Thursday.
I want to give another shout out before we leave to Miss Tammy Charles from Louisville, Kentucky. Hey. Tammy, thank you for joining us again. Tammy, I mean, she does a little bit of everything. She's an entrepreneur too, but her main thing, I guess, is she sells the oil sheen for Dudley products. She sells all of Dudley products. I think she's one of their top salesperson. But anyway, Tammy, thank you again for joining in with us. It's always a pleasure seeing you here. And we appreciate you. Tammy was a guest on our show. She is a phenomenal person, and it's always good to see her here with us tonight. So anyway, you guys, thank you. Don't forget to go by blackgirlbeautyinc.com.
I'm going to go ahead and exit.
Thank you.
You guys
have a great day.
Night. Thank you for having me on. And tune into Chitter Chatter this Thursday for the eye candy, ladies. And for some good information, men. Questions, comments, we want it all because we're tapping into dating. And be sure to tap in to us every week. Every Monday night, Miss Amanda. Every Thursday night, Uniqua.
And for those of you who, we have another group called Beauty Salons That Are Rising. That is a Facebook group. Please join the group. Spread the word. Post your information on your hairstyles, anything you have. We're just building that group up. It's a new group. So go on and like it, okay? And join in, share, be an impact to these young entrepreneurs. Those are the ones I'm really trying to get a hold of. Anyway, you have a super fantastic week. I will see you on Wednesday for a worship and workout. I will see you on Thursday night for Uniqua's Chitter Chatter. May God bless you. Have a super fantastic week.